All right, well, welcome back to the golf garage here. I have my microphones working today. If you watched the video the other day, I was trying to get these mics to work and I failed. So we're going at it again today. Everything looks like it's working, so we'll find out when I get into editing how well that really worked. But I just want to cover a couple things here real quick. One is my golf glove. Apparently, I've been hitting some balls out here. So we're getting a little hole in the thumb there, not a big deal. This is a Callaway Victory glove. This is what I've used for the most part. Last year is one that I kind of found that I liked. But obviously this one's going to be replaced here. I have one inside that I got for Christmas. It's a different brand. I don't remember exactly what it is right now, but I'll be trying that one out. But I'm just curious. Do you have a golf glove that you like to use, that you found is best for you? I've enjoyed this one. I like the way it fits my hands. I have I don't have a very long hand, but I have a very kind of a fat hand, I guess. I don't know what you would also call it. So anyways, this is the glove that I found that works for me. But if you got a glove that you like, I'll be looking. I'm in the market here, so let me know what you think. Also, though, the real reason I'm here today is I went up to, it's called Back to the Tee here in Owasso. I have a co-worker who works up there. I don't know, I guess in his spare time. I don't know what you want to call that, but he works up there. He helps out up there at the Back to the Tee. And so my buddy here was like, hey, I can take a look at some of the things in your swing if you want, give you an assessment and see what I see. And what he noticed is essentially there was some casting. So I'm releasing the club too early. So I'm trying to work on that, and the main culprit seems to be in my grip. So I have this on here right now. I'll take that off real quick. So what I was doing, I hope you guys can see this all well. I really would like to show you more, but I'm going to have to work on a camera setup here soon. What I normally do, I grab my club here, and my backhand I actually don't think was all that bad. I think that was fairly decent. If you're looking at that, you can kind of give me an idea, like assess, hey, is that where it should be? Where I think my main problem was on my trail hand here. I would come way down here, and this is where I'm swinging. This is my no-no. So now what I'm trying to do is bring this on top a little bit, straighten this out. So trying to really kind of get this a little bit more neutral, whereas I believe this would be considered strong, this would be more neutral, and see if that will help me keep my face square at impact. So what we saw in the assessment was my path, my club path itself, so my swing plane, if you will, looked good. That was roughly 0 degrees, plus or minus 2 degrees, but really overall pretty good. So my thing was my club face is closing at impact, like sometimes between 5 and 8 degrees. So I'm trying to neutralize that. So that's why the change in the grip. So a couple things. Wade showed me this as well up there at Back to the Tee. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing his name. I know he's not officially instructing yet, but he's kind of dabbling. And I'm grateful he trusts me to be kind of a guinea pig in that and be someone who he's dipping his toes in the water with on that one. So here's something so normally I would grip my club like this. I'd set it at address. We'll just pretend I got my ball down there, and I'd grab down here, and then I'd reach over, and this is how I'd grip it. And that's what brought in my bad grip. So one of the things that he showed me was Scotty Scheffler. I don't intend to be, not trying to be Scotty Scheffler, but he does some things obviously well, being the #1 golfer in the world. He actually takes his club and very intentionally puts his hand on it here, and then brings it on here and creates his grip. And then he will back up and address his ball and take his swings. So that's what Scotty Scheffler is doing. So I want to work on that. The other thing is I have this grip trainer, if you will. Scotty Scheffler uses something similar to this. It's a little bit different, I believe. This is something I got off Amazon. I'll put a link onto here. But this is to try to create a neutral grip that is ideal for most golfers. I don't know if you can say it's ideal for all golfers, but generally speaking, this is one of the things that you want to work on. So Wade recommended this as well. So we're going to give this on here and see what this does for us. So I'm trying to get this on here about where I think it needs to be. So I've got my club in the right position. Everything's kind of squared up there. So now what I want to do is I want to still practice grabbing this thing, standing up here vertical, so my club is in my fingers a little bit better, which I think my lead hand was generally kind of okay. It was really my trail hand was the booger. So now this feels like this is where I'm supposed to be. One thing that concerns me a little bit with working with this thing is this guy right here really does kind of dig into the thumb a little bit. So I don't know if that's a sign of just how bad my grip was, or if that's something to be concerned about. But so it'll be interesting to see how swinging with this really kind of helps things out. And I can feel right now, I mean, my club feels more open at address, and it's forcing it to stay open at address. I don't know if that's one of the intents here, but that's what I'm feeling. And I'm just kind of trying to get a feel for this. A concern that I had was this might slow my speed down a little bit because it's not natural feeling to me. And it might do that. So I need to fight through that a little bit probably and just trust this. And eventually I should be picking up speed because I'll be actually using my wrist at the right place when I hit contact the ball. So that's something I'm working on. Another thing, I'm going to take my trainer off here. I watched a video from Mike Malaska. I don't know if you're familiar with Mike Malaska. I'll put a link to the video from him here. So Mike Malaska in this video, which is someone that was recommended by another pro that Wade kind of reached out to for, what do you want to say, like a reliable source for instruction on YouTube. Lots of good instructors out there, so I'm not picking on anyone else out there or anything. But want to find somebody to be consistent with that's lining up with what I'm trying to hear from the guy that I'm working with. So one of the things he talks about is making your levers work. So he actually encourages you to grab that club with your trail hand and make this thing work. And his whole thing is your hands lead the body. So you're kind of letting the hand lead the body rather than trying to fire those hips, which I know I've probably been guilty of, trying to fire those hips before I bring that club through. His thing is trying to get used to let that club lead the body and have more of a natural swing through that ball. And then you take your trail hand, do the same thing. And you're just trying to bring it back and let your hands lead through. I'm sorry, you probably can't see the club down there. I don't have a good way to show you all of me and then the club at the same time, so I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe I'll take a shot of it here towards the end here, you can kind of see, but there's not a whole lot that you're missing, I don't think, there at the ground right now. So then, what you want to do is try to practice what I'm thinking about here right now is when I grip the glove, I want to keep it up here above me. I want to put my lead hand on first. I'm hoping that this is the neutral grip I'm looking for. I'll bring my trail hand on here, and I'm trying to keep this in the fingers, out of the palms, and try to keep that same concept where I'm trying to just let the hands lead my body. I don't know how well I'm doing this. I have to watch this back to see how well I'm doing the drill here myself. This one will have my head cut off, the other one I'll try to do. So I'm going to try to keep that, I'm going to try to keep this habit right here. Got my club head squared up. Got my grip here. Hopefully this is my neutral grip that I'm going to be trying to use. And then I'm going to try to just replicate that and use my arms to lead the body. So I don't know how well this is working yet. I don't know the results, but based on the assessment, I'm adjusting my aim a little bit here as far as my goals are with my driver speed. So that's still my goal. I still need to get my speed where it needs to be, but I'm probably going to slow down a little bit here while I work on these levers and develop the skills that I need to actually create the speed I'm looking for instead of trying to muscle through it, which is I think what I was doing in the past. I'm going to take one swing here, probably won't be able to see the ball. I'm going to take a swing, hopefully we can see what that swing looks like, and feel free to let me know, like, hey, does it look like I'm doing the swing the correct way according to what I've described here, or is there still some traps I'm falling into? Feel free to share thoughts if you have them. find my tee here. Well, here's a tee back here. There's a few of these guys running around. They kind of go all over the place on me. So, then take one more swing here. Not going to do that. That's my old habit. I'm going to try to break it. We're going to line this up here. My thumb, maybe just a little bit left of the center of the club there on my lead hand. And now we're trail hand. We're trying to keep this on top here. Trying to shove that top part of my hand right in there. We're just going to take a swing with driver. We're going to try to lead with the hands and let the body follow. So, coming back here. Well, that was not a great strike. Definitely hit the ground a little bit. But this is the process. This is the thing I'm going to try to work on to see if I can have a more reliable swing. So that way the speed will come more naturally and I don't have to work for it. And probably have more distant and more consistent strikes. This is a hard habit for me to break because I love putting my club down here, having everything lined up. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I've got that, I know I'm lined up now. Put my club in my hand here, try to keep it nice and loose and easy. Now I'm just going to take my swing here. Try to hit that on the upswing. Down felt a little bit better swing. Might have hit that ball off the bottom of the face, judging by the feel and the sound of it. Something else I'm learning. I'm kind of figuring out how some of these things kind of actually work out for me. So, got my ball position there. Bring my club back up. Club's in my fingers. Addressing the ball. Swinging. That one hit the right side of my net. That tells me I was probably a little off the toe. My face was probably open. That's not what I'm looking for, but it's the opposite of a closed face, so it does tell me there's some progress. So, lining this up here again, I really got to figure this little habit out here. So, I'll bring my club back up. I'm just going to call this the Scotty Scheffler. Put my trail hand on, or my lead hand on here. Try to keep everything up there in a neutral position. Try to use my levers here. Top that one. That was fantastic. By fantastic, I mean not great at all. That's the weird thing is that the grip does throw me off a little bit, but I need to get used to it. So this is what we're doing. So grab that club up here, then my hands. Now my hand here is a little cupped. So I'm a little bit. I feel like I might need to straighten out a little bit. That might be another thing for me to work out. I don't know. I'm gonna let it be what it is for now, and show it to someone else and see if they have thoughts. It doesn't feel as cupped when I'm down here, but up there it feels cupped. Maybe that's okay. That one felt better. Still a little bit. Started off to the right touch, but anyways. That's what I'm working on this week. So my assessment was good swing path as far as my club plane goes. So coming through the club itself, like the shaft and everything, coming through where I want it to be. My club face was closed, so I'm trying to neutralize my grip and use my levers, starting with my hands and my wrist, to allow my arms to lead my body through the swing. And that's what I'm going to work on now to see if I can generate maybe more speed at contact, but also more consistency, a better strike to get the distance that I'm looking for. Because the goal is still at least 230-yard carry by at least April 25th. April 25th is my first big golf outing for me of the year, going to American Dunes over in Grand Haven. I'd love to have my drive figured out at least as much as I can by then. The work probably won't stop then. It'll probably be a process for a while. Anyways, I hope this is helpful. This is what I'm working on. If this is helpful for you, that's awesome. If there's something that you're seeing in what I'm showing here, because I am really just a beginner. This is my second year really golfing intentionally. So, like I said, I'm always happy to get some comments in here if you have thoughts on what you're seeing or what you'd like to see next. Or if you have learned some things that I'm trying to learn right now, I'd be happy to hear about those as well. So, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.